After the death of crypto comes the rebirth, the enlightenment stage where the masses start to believe again. We saw Ethereum break past significant resistance levels on the ETH BTC chart, also on the ETH USD chart yesterday. Bitcoin, however, has seen a slight rejection here again at 72,000 after the abnormal day. I've got strong altcoins and also look at the traditional markets as they continue their charge into new all-time highs, continuing the everything bubble, the last stage of the 18.6 year cycle, the winner's curse phase, where everyone, man, dog, woman, becomes an expert trader in stock markets, in crypto, and of course, real estate. Look at what's happened with the stock market before we get into cryptocurrencies and those major signals of parabola moves into cryptocurrencies. We're seeing another new all-time high daily close for the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and just a couple of ticks away from a new all-time high price in the after hours movement of today. So yesterday, new all-time high daily close throughout history. This stuff, once this gets going, you typically see it go on for longer than the masses think. And towards the end, more of the masses come on board and they believe that they are the smart ones for picking the market towards the end. This typically happens every single cycle. If you go back and read history, you see it happen again and again and again towards the peaks of the market, no matter which market we're in, stock markets or in real estate, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, it happens towards the peaks every single time. Does it mean it's over now? From what I can see, based on my own analysis, I don't think so. I still think there is more time left in this cycle. S&P 500, new all-time high daily close. NASDAQ, new all-time high daily price. So the new all-time high price throughout history happened yesterday, and it's actually happened again in the last couple of hours. And yesterday it had the new all-time high daily close. The Dow Jones getting very close to a new all-time high price again. Looks like it's putting in a higher low, slightly lagging on the tech stocks and the top 500 in the S&P, and the bottom 2,000 stocks in the US lagging again. They are the laggards for a reason. Typically, I personally wouldn't be getting into the laggards. I want to get into the strong cryptocurrencies, the strong stocks, the strong assets that are showing signs of strength with higher prices as opposed to lagging the overall market. The UK also hanging around at new all-time highs. The German market near enough to new all-time highs again, and France, more major economies around the world. This is above all-time highs. The white line was where the previous all-time high was, and China still going on its 4-month rampage to higher prices. Note how we don't hear about China so much in the markets, in the news anymore, as it's been up for nearly 4 months straight. So overall, things are still looking pretty rosy out there in terms of asset prices increasing and the cycle continuing on, getting us into a winner's curse phase. In terms of the longer term, I'm looking at a possible pattern here. Should we see a breakout for BTC? So in terms of a couple of patterns here that we've seen before for Bitcoin going into 2016, 2017, into a new high, or in the case of Bitcoin now, into a new all-time high. Just looking at pattern one here, you can see we had a big move up, a big pause, correction, consolidation, higher lows form. I am on a weekly chart here. And then you get very close to the new all-time high. You can see that right there where the arrow's pointing. Small correction, and then a bit more time before it can break out into some significant moves. You can see the bars get greater than what they were leading into that top. So that's one idea. You get that correction and the consolidation underneath the old all-time high. You can get it above the top. I'm saying all-time high or significant top. And in this case, this was a very significant top in June 2016 after a pretty long consolidation, big move to the upside, and then correction. Take it off log, you can see it there. Now, that's one idea. A consolidation below the all-time high or consolidation above the old all-time high or significant high. Now, pattern two, we're looking at where you had the significant high here, just short of the all-time high. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter, all-time high, new all-time, significant high. We're looking at around how the market responds to highs. So you've got the high in, correction, it starts to build up again, pushes through the top. So if we got through 74,000 and started to consolidate, Bitcoin breaks through that top at 74K, gets rejected, again, this is on a weekly chart, and that's about 3 weeks of market action around those tops, right? With some corrections underneath that top. The main thing to look out for here is your higher swing low using the Gann swing indicator. So that's your higher swing low, even though it came back under those prices, like we saw right now in with BTC. The old all-time high was 69,000. So around here, it went above, came back under, above, under, consolidated, and looks like it wants to attempt breaking out again, breaking out of the previous old all-time high in 2021. So you got that move there, a little bit of consolidation, and then the parabolic move continues from that point. In 2017, we had a pretty decent run there from April into December for the peak. So about an 8-month move after it finally got going from January of 2017. So it ran up into that top, consolidated, and then got going into that peak. So where does that leave us for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as we lead into this parabolic stage? Some confirmation signals here. I'm still going back to this tipping point. If we're still on the rise around the globe, I think there is a good possibility that cryptocurrencies also get through these tipping points. Let's look back at the previous cycle. That's the 50% level through the bear market range. The tipping point came after it broke out of the monthly swing tops, and then the 50% level of that range. So you can see there was about 190, 200-ish billion with a total cryptocurrency market cap, excluding Bitcoin, ETH, and stablecoins. So from that tipping point, we had a pretty solid run up into the new all-time high. And then we had another solid run to blitz that new all-time high, very, very significant correction, and then that final leg up into that final top. But you had huge moves happen, gains through that period, very significant correction. And that was kind of like the late retail coming into the space, making whatever gains if they did, and more than likely giving it all back because they'd watched everything happen for the last couple of years or heard about it, not getting into the market, and they finally get in the last stages, maybe in this stage, maybe in the final stage itself, and maybe even in the complacency bounces that happened throughout 2022, and then held on for the ride all the way down. Don't feel bad if you're in that. It happens to pretty much everyone in their first cycle. You basically come in late, you hold on too long, and you hope for the best. And then when the bottoms are in, you're just too burnt out to even remain in the market or remain with it, to see the bottoms through and then watch the next leg run up. So in terms of where we are right now, we've had the 4 weeks down. We're at about 6 weeks from that low, but from the top, we are at 10 weeks. So from this top to where we currently are, we're at 10 weeks underneath that top. So I'm watching out for some period in June or July to give us a breakout here. We're a week out from June now. So possibly we get the breakout of the 50% coming soon, a breakout of these tops a few weeks later. And just according to the previous fractal, not that I'm wedded to this whatsoever, we have a look at that, roughly around sort of July or August, potentially see some sort of new all-time high. So it's sort of late summer, if the Northern Hemisphere, into a new all-time high for cryptocurrencies. Of course, continue to follow the chart. Don't take that as gospel that that's the date that it'll happen. I'm still just watching this because it seems to be working out relatively well for now. The time frames seem to be working out relatively well for now. Next time, take care and peace out.